This is part 2 of the Essential School Age module. This presentation focuses on measurable goals and specially designed instruction, SDI. There are 3 elements of the measurable goal. All 3 elements must be a part of each goal on the IEP in order to be considered compliant. The first element of a measurable goal is clearly defined behavior. The second element of a measurable goal is the condition under which the behavior will occur. And the final element is the criteria that will be used to evaluate the performance of the behavior. Clearly defined behavior is defined as the specific action the student will be expected to perform. The behavior should be based on one specific skill. Do not blend skills such as decoding and fluency in one goal. The description of the skill should be clear, concise, and specific. The next element of a measurable goal is the condition under which behavior will occur. The condition can be defined as the situation, setting, or given material in which the behavior is to be performed. The last element of a measurable goal is the criteria that will be used to evaluate the performance of the behavior. The definition of performance criteria is the level the student must demonstrate for mastery and the number of times the skill or behavior must be demonstrated to be considered proficient. It is important for districts to use the same unit of measurement when describing mastery of the performance criteria that will be used in the present levels of performance and will be used in the progress reports. Districts should avoid using vague terms such as increase or decrease with a baseline or target of acceptable performance. Performance criteria should include both a level of degree and a level of mastery. Below the measurable annual goal, there are checkboxes lettered A through K. The district must determine and identify here the best way to monitor the progress towards the annual goal for the student. Remember that if the observation box is checked, there must also be a written record in order to support this method of data collection. Progress monitoring. Progress monitoring is used to determine if the student is making progress. The monitoring helps determine if the goals of the IEP are being met. The results of the monitoring can be a basis to reevaluate the IEP to provide different supports that may better meet the needs of the student. In Section 6 of the IEP, you will indicate the method that will be used to measure the student's progress towards each goal. There are rollovers explaining each of the methods. You will also indicate the frequency of reporting progress to the child's parent. Optional Form OP-6A Progress Report. Progress reports must be provided to parents of a child with a disability at least as often as report cards are issued to all children. If the district provides interim reports to all children, progress reports must be provided to all parents of a child with a disability. This optional form has been updated with new components. These new components are data source. Data source refers to the method being used for measuring the child's progress towards their annual goal. Remember to refer back to Section 6 of the IEP, the method boxes A through K, located under the measurable annual goal. Data points. Data points refer to the number of times and the percentage of accuracy the child is presently performing towards mastering their annual goal. See slide for example. Once the goal has been reported, select Add Next Goal to report progress on another goal, if applicable. Please ensure that if you use a district-created form for reporting progress, that these new components are included. Specially designed instruction means adapting as appropriate to the needs of an eligible child the content, methodology, or delivery of instruction to address the unique needs of the child that results from the child's disability and to ensure access of the child to the general education curriculum so that the child can meet the educational standards that apply to all children. Specially designed instruction is how you are teaching the child and how the delivery of instruction is different from what every child receives. There must be a clear connection to the specific goal referenced and the location of services. The amount of time must reflect the need of the individual student and is not based on a schedule or availability of staff. SDI describes the nature of the instruction that aligns with the needs of the student and supports the progress towards achievement of annual goals. SDIs can be a standalone related service. Assistive technology is defined as any item, piece of equipment, or product system, whether acquired commercially off the shelf, modified or customized, that is used to increase, maintain, or improve the functional abilities of a student with a disability. When describing the specific assistive technology, proprietary names should not be used. It is important to note that a surgically implanted device is not considered by federal law to be assistive technology. Assistive technology service means any service that directly assists a child with a disability in the selection, acquisition, or use of an assisted technology device. Accommodations provide access to course content, but do not alter the scope or complexity of the information taught to the student. Modifications change the amount and/or complexity of the instructional materials taught. Modifications of the curriculum result in the student being taught the same information as the same aged grade level peer, but with less complexity or reduced work requirement. Support for school personnel is an area that documents interactions between adults. This section identifies the person or persons who will be receiving the specific support provided, by whom, and when it will occur. There can be more than one support description in this area. As an example, consider a student who has been identified with a speech impairment. The speech and language pathologist might consult with the classroom teacher to provide strategies which could be used in the classroom for the student. This section is where the interaction of the speech pathologist consulting with the classroom teacher would be documented.